our sister said, the chair said, she might not know much about it. So there's an opportunity for each and everyone that following this Zoom launching to understand the purpose, the reason of the Ulouk Humanitarian Wing. So this is going to be done by our hard-working community leader, the Excellency, Reverend Ako Bazi. He's the chair of the Humanitarian Wing. Honorable Bazi, are you there?
Thank you very much. Am I audible enough?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Her Excellency, Ambassador Gertie Gibson, Dr. Harry Comway, Mr. Prince Sanu Taylor, Mr. Mo Sonin, fellow Liberians, Liberian organizations in the UK, Friends of Liberia, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We have gathered here today at this all-important program marking the launch of Ulouk Humanitarian Wing. But let me say this for our first-time guests and those of you who do not know yet, that Ulouk means Union of Liberian Organizations in the United Kingdom. Ulouk is an umbrella organization made out of a group of various Liberian organizations, associations, individuals, and Friends of Liberia. I'd like to also bring you up to date that as far as we know, there are estimated 3,000 Liberians residing in the United Kingdom and about 13 membership organizations of Ulouk, as well as interest groups, small businesses, individual projects, and initiatives involving Liberians. Just to name a few, we have the Grand Jida Association, the Liberian Association of Northampton, Liberia Social and Ethic Organization, Kuka Tono Women Association, Liberian Community Organization of Sheffield, LOS, Liberian Community Organization, LICO, Liberian Mandingo Association in the UK, LIMOC, Liberian Medical Association, Liberian Organization of Sheffield, as mentioned before, Liberian United Women Association. We also have Liberia UK Maryland Association. We have Scholarship for Liberia. We have Akwe Masayan Bazi Gave Home Humanitarian Foundation. And that's just to name a few. We have other interest groups and organizations that are here to make their membership very known to Ulouk. Let me say it is an opportunity for me to be called to chair Ulouk's Humanitarian Wing in the UK and in Liberia. I say an opportunity because, like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, and I quote, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at time of challenge and controversy." Unquote. Today's program only presents me and others, particularly as officials and me as the head of Ulouk Humanitarian Wing. But personally, my humanitarian work in the UK can be tracked from 2004. Many of you may know that in 1989, my life changed forever when Liberia was engulfed in one of Africa's bloodiest civil war. 15 years later, having lived 12 years in refugee camp, my life changed again when I became one of the first people to be resettled in Britain through the UN UK Refugee Resettlement Scheme. Since then, we have been identifying and addressing the needs of our community and country, Liberia, bringing Liberians together regularly for our mutual support, encouraging and promoting our cultural and identity in the UK. Furthermore, our fight against the Ebola virus, an epidemic that occurred in Liberia from 2004 to 2014 to 2015. As you know, this epidemic saw Ulouk create a united front called Ulouk Ebola Task Force to coordinate humanitarian efforts from the UK to Liberia. And we're very proud to be part of that united front. Our continuous fight against the current coronavirus COVID-19 epidemic that again has seen Ulouk launch an emergency humanitarian appeal that was headed by myself through the Akwe Masanya Bazi Give Hope Humanitarian Foundation, AMB. Today in the United Kingdom, Ulouk is on the record. Many of you may have seen on the media in Liberia, 2KM TV and other media platforms, that Ulouk made COVID-19 donation to vulnerable groups in Liberia to help most disadvantaged and people living with disability in Liberia. The distributions were carried out by Ulouk COVID-19 Task Force team in Liberia, headed by Mamawa Luma and others. This today, as I say, is a practical illustration that in time of crisis and on humanitarian grounds, God is not a Muslim. God is not a Christian. God is not a Buddhist. You may name the rest, but God is of all creation. God is of all creation on humanitarian ground. God is the creation of humankind, regardless of their background, for the equal worth of dignity for everyone. That's part of situation they may be facing. So in our humanitarian effort in the UK, we leave no one behind. So donations from Ulouk were made to the following groups: Mission of Hope in Liberia, Association of the Deaf in Liberia, Disabled Community on 19th Street, Christian Association of the Blind, and of course, the United Blind Association, LPRC. In view of the above and the unprecedented global humanitarian crisis, Ulouk today has established the humanitarian wing, for which you are here today for the official launch, as a subdivision of Ulouk to coordinate the humanitarian affairs in the UK and in Liberia. The humanitarian wing shall stay as a permanent branch of Ulouk going forward. So say the chair, Honorable Mo Soni. Ulouk humanitarian wing has dual national mandate, UK and Liberia, but with wider UK national and Liberia counties focus. And the remit of the group extends to engaging at international platforms. The current leadership of the humanitarian wing is made out of 5 members. We will continue to recruit essential committees, leaders who broadly represent the cross-section of our community here in the UK and, of course, in Liberia. We will appoint special advisor, and I'm proud to announce to you that we have approached Honorable Fidel Budi, who has agreed to advise the group, and we are confident to rely on his expertise, not only working as General Secretary for Ulouk, but also his academic current activities as a researcher and also fundraiser. And that will foster good governance and also funding project innovations. We will invite representatives of various Liberian organizations from different geographical locations. When there is a vacancy, leadership in consultation with Ulouk will receive recommendation on potential new members and then collectively decide who can join based on the representation or position needed at that time. This theme, the theme that you are inaugurating or officially presenting to the community today, has a collective humanitarian mindset and is determined to create a united front that will help Ulouk maintain and strengthen its recognition already nationally and internationally for providing practical humanitarian aid and addressing humanitarian concerns to our community and our country. The current leadership do hereby accept the challenge to take our entire community with us in addressing humanitarian concerns of our people here in the UK and in Liberia, particularly in the areas such as 1, in humanitarian crisis. That means helping communities and people who are suffering due to natural disasters, man-made disasters, complex emergencies, such as armed conflict, epidemic, famine, natural disasters as mentioned, and other major emergencies, with activities such as raising awareness, fundraising, gathering materials and donation, collaborative work with other partners, shipping, purchasing, and distributing to those in need. 2, having dealt with the emergency issue, we will go to a more sustainable humanitarian work. That means that we'll be looking at areas and looking ahead of ourselves and leaving no one behind. Raising awareness in areas of like public health, as well as raising awareness in the medical field, raising awareness for the provision of materials such as medical materials or resources such as human resources and financial resources. We strive to alleviate poverty. That means we're not just going to be talking about poverty. We want to make sure in the long range we can produce.
Hello?
Yes?
Go ahead.
Okay. So we are saying that we can produce and make food available for our people in areas where there are need. We are also aware that in the long range we want to have educational awareness, how schools deliver or not, the gaps and how we can achieve better outcome. We also want to focus in the long range on social inclusion, such as peace education, conflict resolution, reconciliation, social event, and also fundraising activities. How are we going to do this? We cannot do this on our own. It's really easy to read a whole book of what we want to do, and many will be saying, how are we going to do this? First of all, we will work with our people in our community. This is not our goal. This is not for us. It's for all of us. It's a kind of united front. So we want to engage communities, and we are glad that we know names and contact of organizations and individuals across the country. We want to engage our public. We want to engage our beneficiaries, our stakeholders. We also want to maximize participation by clarity of purpose and empowering people to become agents of their own development and well-being. Soliciting and managing resources such as human, material, and financial. Creating or designing sustainable programs and projects that make the difference through effective planning, implementation, and evaluation, as well as preparing for crisis. Most importantly, doing direct beneficial work. I mean, working directly with individual Liberians and friends of Liberia. Working with partners, that means doing more partnership development, enlarging our scope, and raising awareness in the areas of agriculture, public health, security, and education. Our second step will be we will work not only with our community, but we will work for our people and our community. We will advocate, such as advocating for the continuation of necessary government humanitarian programs in the country. So we will make sure to remind the government when we have funds available for humanitarian work, we will remind them of their responsibility to make sure that those funds are used appropriately to benefit those who need to be beneficiaries. We will also be raising awareness locally and nationally, both in the UK and in Liberia, with our NGO partners, other key stakeholders, and members of our public to demonstrate the need for social inclusion and human rights programs by highlighting the experiences of vulnerable people or people who have lived experience in challenges that we are aware of and experiencing difficulties right now. We will be representing our people's view and their concerns of our wider mainstream communities, particularly those that are marginalized. We will be advising and consulting with key agencies who are involved in designing and delivering humanitarian programs, such as the UNHCR and as well as other organizations. Many of you will know that for the last 16 years, I have been privileged to work with the UNHCR in the UK, delivering some of the most needed humanitarian services across Europe and in America. So we will be bringing those expertise down here to our community and making sure that our presence will be felt, not only because we are Liberians, but because of what we can bring on the table to benefit our people. It is important for us to speak more on this. It is important for us to share our experiences on this. It is important for us to ask questions and listen. But I want to tell you that we have a strong team. We are very confident that the people we work with on this team will be able to engage with yourself, because the issues for our community lies in your hands, and we can lift it up with you and find solution for them. So this is my team. This is a team that we are working with. But our biggest team will be the community and leaders of organization. Today, myself, Akwe Masenyan Bazi, as head of the humanitarian wing, I come on board with a wealth of passion, enthusiasm, and experience in working with people from all challenging walks of life on humanitarian grounds. Just to name a few, I work with the Lutheran World Federation in Guinea. I work for and with the World Food Program. I work with ACT, that's Action for Churches Together. I also work for the International Rescue Committee. I work with the United Methodist Guinea Mission. For the last 12 years, I live in Guinea. And I have got 15 years Home Office, British Refugee Council, and UNHCR humanitarian work in the UK. I am also the co-founder of CAM, Christ Abadi Ministries International, and Hope of Glory Church, I believe, is the only Liberian church established and running, the first Liberian and established and running church by Liberians and attended by Liberians in Sheffield, that have hosted and prayed for presidents and ambassadors who have visited the United Kingdom over the years. I am also the founder and director of AMB Foundation, that's Akwe Masenyan Foundation. And currently we are building a daycare center and a worship center in Liberia, so that some of the vulnerable children that were left by their parents on the streets to go and fetch food for themselves can have place to play and eat while we await their parents to take them, as we have not got a stay-home facility at the moment. We also have on our board Sister Karina Richardson, the vice chair of this humanitarian wing. She has been involved in Ulouk's COVID-19 fundraising, and she also been catering. She has a catering business that provided free hot meal for homeless people in the city of Newcastle, and also had a family hardship project in Liberia, supporting members and families, students to continue education. And she also supported the Samaritans as she provided accommodation, provision, and meal for the Catholic Church that she was part of. So she brings those humanitarian work experience on this board, and we are very happy to receive Sister Karina Richardson. We also have on board Eda, I call him Eda, a very responsible and careful man. He's called Aaron Dixon. He is the fundraising and community outreach coordinator for the humanitarian wing. Aaron brings also great and huge experience in this team. He's the founder of Aaron Dixon Foundation. He has been involved in COVID-19 fundraising, as was doing the Ebola crisis in Liberia as well. He has also been involved in various fundraising activities and in Europe to support the European refugee crisis, and also the Yemen conflict since 2019 and 2020. So we want to say a very big welcome to Aaron Dixon, who will be leading our outreach and making sure that we are leaving no one behind. On this team, we also have Mother Eleanor Moore. She's the secretary for this foundation. She has also been involved with the coronavirus fundraising and also was doing the Ebola crisis. She has worked with the Liberian organization in Holland, also worked with Alpha Imas, where she helped raise funds to support children in Liberia, as well as sending 44 food contingent to Liberia to serve children in Liberia. She also served as cheerleader in the Grand Jude organization, sending clothes and food to people in need in Liberia. On this team, we have representative of Ulouk who represent the president of Ulouk. As you have been told, we are not independent. We are subdivision or subgroup of Ulouk, and we make sure that what we are doing is in line with the Constitution as stipulated by the chair in our mandate presented to us. So at this time, we have Mother Orita Collins. She's also the vice president for Ulouk, but she's representing Ulouk on this humanitarian wing. She's a registered nurse working with children, adults, and elderly people with physical health and learning disability in the mental health sector. She's also been helping during the COVID-19 period, donated a lot of donation to communities where she grew up in Liberia. She also donated rice, bucket for water, hand sanitizers, soap powders for both communities in Liberia and in the UK. To conclude, let me recap our priorities. Our first on the list is to engage community leaders and members so that no one is left behind. We want to make sure that whatever we have or don't have, we are in this together. The second is to consider a joint fundraising initiative with individuals and community. So we want to create a united front, whether that is asking community members or asking the government or asking big lottery, wherever we can find help to help those who are in need. We'll be creating a united front on the humanitarian ground. We will also set up necessary committees, and we will appoint representatives across the UK. As you know, we have community organizations across the UK, and in order to make sure that no one is left behind, we want to make sure that our voices are heard in those places, and they are also having a collaboration and organizing people to join this particular effort. Number 4, we want to establish a Liberian chapter of the humanitarian wing with focus mainly on the execution of project deliveries and implementation as outlined within our vision. So that means that as we are leading the UK and the Liberia humanitarian wing, as soon as we are settled here, we will be creating, reinforcing what we had before. We have terms of reference that explain everything that we intend to do and how we want to do it. We are very happy to share with anyone who is interested in knowing more about what we are doing. Most importantly, we want to make sure that everybody can rally around us. And I know somebody will be talking about something we've learned during this Ebola time. And that is people's power. Millionaires were dying, money everywhere, but we didn't have enough people to look after us. So this is the time we unite as people and work together on this humanitarian front. So thank you very much for listening. And we're here to answer questions. I'm happy to talk to you individually and if you need more information. Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. Thank you, Honorable Reverend Bassi. Thank you so much. What a delivery. I think we a great team. And on behalf of the Ulouk executive, we wish you guys success. We're going to be with you guys. And we are all part and parcel of this. What a delivery. I think we got a message clear and great team. So on that time I've been well spent, I just want to make quick two announcements. There's a chat. While on the Zoom, there's a chat area. You can click on it. If you have a question, you can leave your question there. At the Q&A session, we might not answer all the questions, but we'll try to answer some of the questions. That's one. Second, the announcement is there will be a music interlude at some point. So, and that time will be technically a break. So maybe you can leave your